YouTube, what is up, everyone? We are live at twitch.tv/DykinXDan, but you guys are not here for that. What you guys are here for is to know which characters are the best and the worst inside of Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising. So I don't know what happened, but the last day, yesterday or something, I guess it was National Tier List Day for the game because so many tier lists has come out. And I want to take a look at these with you all and see which characters are seemingly the best, which are like in the middle, and which characters are considered like the worst characters inside the game. So if you've been wondering, is your character top tier or is your character at the bottom? Let's go and see it. So we got about 5 tier lists to go through from different regions of the world, different players coming together in some of these to make some of these tier lists that we're about to talk about here. So first off, we have the Japanese player Sinon, who is a Zeta player. They already got master, so a master Zeta player. And this is the tier list that they have made. Now, they're very honest about their character. They know Zeta is top tier. So if you guys have been seeing the game or been hearing people talk about which characters are strong, yes, Zeta is a very strong character. This character has massive damage output, has very good ultimate skills as far as they work, and she can just dash around the screen, dash in, dash out. Very good safety, very large pokes, and just massive damage opportunities across the board. So very, very strong character. Lancelot. Now, this is very interesting. Some characters, some people in these tier lists are not putting Lancelot in a spot like this, but they're keeping him pretty high. Lancelot is a very strong character right now. Has some of the best ultimate skills inside the game. Has a pretty decent damage output and has a nice mix-up game as well. You know, with the being able to reset and go inside the safe jump as well with the empty jump below. He has a very good way of stealing his turns back with his record because you don't know which one he's going to end on. Yeah, he's just an overall solid character. Now he has access to, like, you know, a real true DP with the ultimate skills and stuff like that. Even though they took it out of his regular version, he now has access to, like, you know, a real DP that's like, you know, it's not going to be something where he hops up in the air and then like has to choose. No, it's like if he does this, you're probably getting hit. So he has that option available to him as well. Now, Nier, there should be no surprise here. I think this is probably the most complained about character in this entire game right here, Nier. A lot of people are talking about this character. Very high damage mid-screen, probably the highest mid-screen damage in the game. Some of the best Oki situation in the game. You know, in a game where they took a lot of hard knockdowns away, the ability to have such an, you know, such a oppressive Oki situation in the mid-screen or in the corner, very, very good. High damage, very good mix-up. DP doing like 50 to 60% damage off of it. You know, even though it's guard point, there's like some counterplay, but it is still very obnoxious to deal with. A lot of people's complaining about the character, a lot of people talking about this character, and for very righteous reasons. This character is very nuts. Seox, this character is something too, bro. Very good neutral skip things, has very good ultimate skills himself, being able to fly across the screen, having multiple plus interactions. You know, he has the shadow clone thing being plus, he has the sort of berserker slash kicks into the up kick being plus as well. He has a lot of plus things that are happening here. He also has the fireball that's also plus, so there's a lot of plus things, and he is one of the characters that you do have to worry about left, right. You notice a trend here in the S plus. These characters are the characters that actually forces you to use the guard button a lot. Besides sort of Zeta don't really force you to use guard button, but not Luane, but you know, you have the guy over here, he definitely does it. Nier does it, and Seox does as well. So yeah, Lancelot, Nier, and Seox definitely forces the guard button, and yeah, they are very strong characters. So this is who Sinon thinks are the top characters, and at the bottom we have Ladiva here, and then we have Luane in their own tier. Now, I personally play Luane. I have been preaching that Luane is a bottom 3 character. He always has been. I think he still is. He just has a lot of problems. But yeah, and then the rest is pretty much in the middle. Some other strong contenders. We all know Safri's pretty strong. Belial is still a very strong character. And I think Grimnir can possibly rise up in some people's eyes once this character starts to get to figure out a little bit more. I feel like Grimnir is definitely a lot more technical than people thought he would be. And it's funny because the developers say that Nier is actually supposed to be a harder character to play than him, but he actually probably is the more harder character, as we can definitely see from all the different things that people are doing. All right, so we're going to a US player tier list. So this is a tier list made by Witch Hazy, Tempest, and Roxanne Forever. So, you know, some prominent good players inside of the community for sure, and this is who they think are good. So we're starting to see a trend here, right? We start to see Ladiva, Luane at the bottom as well here. We're starting to see you know, Seox here again, Nier here again, Zeta here again, and then, you know, some very high respect to Safri and Bellio, you know, these are two very strong characters as well. Bellio always been a very strong character inside the game since his release. Just has a very good toolkit with you know, the ability to basically create his own plus frames with the will. He has access to a counter. He has access to a command grab. He has very good pressure strings, very good whip punish tools with his far H. Like, very strong character for sure. And in Safri, massive buttons, massive damage, very straightforward, obnoxious projectile to deal with. You know, he has a fast one, a very slow one that reaches really high, hard to jump over. If you do reach over it, he does have a massive 2As waiting for you. Just a very strong character overall. And then, of course, here at the bottom, you know, they're starting to say that Matera and Fairy are not that good, which is pretty interesting. You know, the game has taken a bit of a turn when you think about it. The game has become more aggressive. So, you know, you're starting to see these more aggressive strategies become a lot more prominent. And I think that's what we're starting to see here. Like, you know, this is not the meta for the zoner type characters. You know, you got 6-6L all over the place that are, like, you know, pressuring these characters to death. Even though they did give these characters DPs, you know, Matera finally got a DP, even though Fairy already had one, is now in their ultimate skill. But yeah, these characters do have DPs. They do have the guard cancel, yet people still think they're weak even though they have these mechanics, which is very interesting. You know, that they think that very early inside the game. So we're starting to see a trend here as far as what we're solidifying as far as the top characters and characters that we're starting to see at the bottom. A lot of people don't think highly of Vasaraga as well, and Henri, to say certain things about that too. Now, this list is very interesting because this was a tier list that was made by a group of Korean players coming together. They were all S++ at the time of making this, so they're probably all master by now, we'll be guessing. But yeah, this is their take on the list. So once again, starting to see a trend here, right? Zeta, Nier, Lancelot, Theox, you know, not far behind them, we got Safri. Cagliostro, you know, some people feel that Cagliostro is a weaker in this game, like solid but weak, weaker. So, you know, they still feel pretty highly about her. And Nomaya's on the rise. I feel like Nomaya's very strong with their ultimate skills. They have some very good neutral skip ultimate skills. They have one that teleports, one that does the slash that like goes in front. So like once they have like 50 meter at their disposal, it's very hard for a projectile character to even use their projectiles, because on reaction they can come in, do that, and actually get a full combo punish on you. So this character is very scary when there's a projectile on the screen. Zoe's also been on the rise too. Zoe's always been, like, I feel like a pretty like mid high to high character. While they did lose some tools, they gained some very good stuff. One of the best ultimate skills probably in the game, the huge dragon skill. If you're in the air, it's unblockable. They can actually unblockable you with the laser. So if you're in the air with the laser and then you actually block it, they can actually do the dragon and it actually unblockables you. That's crazy. And then of course the thing that a lot of people are talking about, the 66H armored attack that also leads into a combo on hit. So not only do, you know, some other characters have the 66Hs as well, but the fact that theirs is armored and then leads into the combo, very strong tool. So yeah, definitely a character on the rise. Don't think too highly about Bellio as some others, and I think the Percival pick here is a little weird to have Percival that low for a character. When you think about it, when we talk about the game actually becoming more of a neutral based game, well, it is more aggressive, but it goes back to neutral states more often, right? Because it isn't that many hard knockdowns. So when you hit a character, you're probably going back to a more of a neutral state, which is a place where Percival shines at. So the fact that they think Percival is pretty weak in a game that lessen hard knockdown is very interesting for sure. Now, I've always been saying I think Anila is not the best just because they don't have the best light conversions, and I think that really messes with them. They have to use the new system mechanics a lot for their conversions. I think that sort of messes with like how they actually play the game and sort of hurts them a bit. I guess they agree there. And then, of course, one of the players here is actually a Lil player, Matthew, who actually thinks very highly of Lil. I believe they actually hit Master, if I remember correctly. I think I did go into the leaderboards and see them in Masters by now. So they actually think Lil is actually pretty decent in this game. I personally don't agree. I'm still working on my Lil. I'm still almost at S++, but I do not think this character is as good as they're probably making, especially above some of these characters they have here. Like, I think Grimnir is definitely a better character than Lil right now. I definitely think Vera is definitely better than Lil. Possibly also Yuel. I think she's also very strong as well. Gran is pretty cracked too. Not sure how people feel about Catalina, but Gran I definitely feel is kind of pretty good. But yeah, very interesting list overall. And we got one more list to actually take care of here. Actually, we got two more lists. We got this one and one more. So yeah, Kizzy actually put out a list, and he actually put it in a ordered version. So he said The Granbluers, the A+ are actually ordered in his opinion. So he has Zeta as the best character. He has Bellio up here. We have Lancelot up here. Seox. We have Nier. So you remember, we starting to see the pattern. So even though some people like they're at the S, they're at the A, we start to see the characters like, okay, these are definitely the strong characters of the game. Zeta, Bellio, Lancelot, Seox, Nier, Seyfried. We have Vera. And he actually has Anila up here. He actually thinks very highly of Anila, which is very interesting. He has Lawayne in the A tier, so he thinks he's a little bit better than the actual Vasaraga and Anre, and he thinks Matera is the worst in the game. Now, it's interesting that these people are actually putting Matera as the worst character in the game, considering what just happened. So if you don't know, DreamHack Atlanta just happened like the past weekend, and Matera actually won the tournament. So the grand finals was Zeta versus Matera. Now, Senpai Spider, if you've been following anything with this community, is a very strong player, always been prominent, always been grinding the original game. So, you know, to see them in a spot like this is definitely nothing to like be surprised about. They have definitely earned their spot as one of the best players, and probably the best, like one of the best Materas, if not the best Matera in the US. So yeah, this is no surprise here. But you know, considering people are saying this character is very weak right now, and then them able to showcase a pretty dominant performance, putting themselves on the winner side of grand finals and then taking it, you know, very strong, right? So this could be the case of this a very strong player, or this could be the case of the game. Even though the tiers, we have like the tiers, there could be a case where the game has the tiers very close together, where the characters aren't that much spread apart, where everyone do have a chance to win. And actually, if we go back to the actual tier list we were looking at before, the other NA tier list, where Witch Hazy was stating right here in one of the comments, I actually think the game is in an amazing place for the first version. It truly feels like every character has the tools to win right now, and it will definitely be a while before any character is the clear best, in my opinion. So they do feel like everyone is very strong, or at least has the tools to actually compete inside the game. And I think people had that sentiment at the end of Granblue, towards the end of the first game's lifespan. And the last test we're going to be talking about is going to be by DOA Rider. So this is a Master Lancelot player, Japanese Master Lancelot player, that put out their tier list, and once again just seeing the same things, right? So we're seeing the Zeta, the Seox, the Nier, the Seyfried at the top. We're seeing, you know, the Lancelot. He puts Lancelot in the A tier, you know, probably a little downplay, but it's all good. We got the Zoe in the A tier, and then of course we're seeing Matera and Lawayne at the bottom again. So yeah, pretty interesting that we're starting to see like where people really think some of these characters are early inside the game. I wonder how things are going to change. Or is the Grimnir going to really start to rise up? You know, a lot of people are putting Grimnir a little bit low. Even though he looks a little bit crazy, is he a lot higher than he actually is made out to be? We'll see, you know, when time comes. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this one, guys. Like I said, I did want to actually go over some tier lists with you all while I was here, while we're on the stream right now. Once again, at Twitch.com/DaikinXDan. So if you want to hang out with us, give your boy a follow. We'll definitely love to have you here. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below who you feel is strong and weak inside of Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising at this moment. Do you think some of the characters they're putting on a list should be a little bit higher? Do you think some of the characters they're putting on the list should be a little lower? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, if you like anything I had to say, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, follow me on my socials. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so the next video goes live. As always, my name is Daikin, and I'll see you next time. Signing out.